is a quiet week here in Kansas City as the Chiefs begin their playoff prep. So who do experts think have a chance at dethroning the back-to-back champs? We're going to check across the league and take a look at the NFL Power Rankings in just a moment. It's time for your daily dose of Chiefs News Daily, the only show that brings you all Chiefs headlines every single weekday. Let's get this one rolling. What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Happy Tuesday. I'm Hayley Lewis, and you already know it. This is Chiefs News Daily. While the team takes some time to rest and look ahead at their 4 potential divisional opponents, we're going to take a little bit of time to dive into the latest headlines. So who might even lead the Chiefs staff in 2025? That is one we're going to talk about. But first, give us a like and subscribe right here on the KCSN YouTube channel, and let's get into this. So the Kansas City starters are going to have roughly 24 days of rest. That means 24 days in between their last game played on Christmas Day and their first playoff game in the divisional round. So during that time, the team is going to dissect and study their potential opponents as they get ready for a hopeful long postseason run. So with history on the line, Kansas City going for the first ever NFL three-peat, which NFL team poses the biggest threat to the Chiefs and could potentially spoil those dreams? Well, NFL Network shared their opinion recently. Take a listen.
Which team is the biggest threat to Kansas City right now?
Well, look, I'm not going to be called a homer because I could make a case the Chargers have played the Chiefs very close in 2 different contests this year, and that third one would be fun. I hope I get a chance to go see it in person. But I'll say, there you go. But I will say the Buffalo Bills, and we're just talking about Josh Allen, and this is someone who's already with his team beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 11 this season. So you have that recent confidence. How about going back to the 2021 divisional round and that psycho crazy finish to that one, where Josh Allen throws for 329, 4 touchdowns, rushes for 68 yards, and is mere seconds away from advancing past the Kansas City Chiefs. You know that's still sticking in his craw a little bit, Baldy. So this feels like the year for Buffalo. If not now, when? This is someone that I think is confident going to play the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, I'll take that phrase that you just uttered there, DJ, and it's sticking in the crawl. Because I got to believe it's in the crawl of Lamar Jackson. And I know Baltimore opened up against Kansas City to start the season, and it didn't go well that day. But I believe the difference in this postseason is Derrick Henry. Last year, we know they got away from the run too early against Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. We're still scratching our heads why they did that. But there's no excuse this year to feed the beast, to feed the king. And I think defensively, they've come a long ways since the beginning of the season. They've played much, much better right now. The pass rush has really come on, really affected the quarterbacks here down the stretch. And so I think they're built for this postseason, and they, like you said about Josh, Lamar Jackson knows that they got to get through Patrick Mahomes if they want to get to where they want to go.
So the Bills and the Ravens, we've heard it before. Against those teams during the regular season, the Chiefs were 1-1, so 1-1, lost 1. Kansas City has only faced Baltimore in the postseason since Patrick Mahomes became a starter one time, which was last year's AFC Championship victory. As for the Buffalo Bills, you guys know the storyline there. Mahomes is 3-0 in the playoffs against Josh Allen. So against both of those teams in the postseason, the Chiefs have a perfect 4-0 record with Mahomes as their starter. However, this doesn't matter until the AFC Championship week. Due to seeding, Kansas City is not going to face either of those teams in the divisional round. Instead, the Chiefs are going to either face the Texans, Steelers, Chargers, or Broncos. So drop in the comments below who you think out of those 6 teams poses the biggest threat to the Chiefs. So it's officially playoff time. Power rankings are out for the 14 teams who are going to continue to play and have a shot at winning Super Bowl 59. Where did the Chiefs fall? Well, let's take a look at some major outlets and where they place Kansas City. USA Today, the 33rd team, Bleacher Report, and CBS Sports all put the Chiefs at number 1. Sports Illustrated and Fox Sports ranked the Chiefs 2nd, and The Athletic and Yahoo Sports placed Kansas City at number 3. Now remember Sports Illustrated? Last week, they put the Chiefs at number 5. This week, they moved them up to 2nd, and here's what they had to say. The clock has reset, and now Andy Reid has another week to observe before inheriting his first opponent of the postseason. I can talk big noise all year about how this team has statistically underperformed and has had an incredibly good fortune in tight games, but it doesn't matter. I am not picking against them this postseason. All right, way to wise up, Sports Illustrated. Also, the coaching carousel continues as we shared a few Chiefs staff members who have been requested for interviews yesterday. Today, we learn more about Matt Nagy and Mike Borgonzi's outside interests. Albert Breer shared today that the Jets are actually set to interview Chiefs assistant GM Mike Bergonzi for their general manager job in Palm Beach tomorrow, per sources. So that one's going to be in person this week. Sports Illustrated writes that Bergonzi, whose name has been floated around several times for open jobs throughout the league, just wrapped up his 16th regular season with Kansas City. Now, this is year number 4 in the assistant GM role, as he previously served as a director of football operations for a handful of years and after working in player personnel. Prior to that, the Brown University football alum worked as a pro scout for the Chiefs following his first big NFL break as the club's administrator of college scouting. This is back in 2009. He started with then GM Scott Pioli, ultimately sticking around for John Dorsey, and then, of course, switching to Brett Veach. We also learned that Nagy's interview is going to be tomorrow with the Jets. Ian Rappaport said that Nagy's interview is, of course, going to be virtual. NFL rules state that for the 2 teams with a bye, those virtual interviews can be held between Wednesday and the end of wildcard weekend and are limited to 3 hours in length. In-person interviews with assistants who are under contract with other teams can begin on January 20th unless those teams are still alive for the conference title games. Now, those coaches must wait until January 27th when either they are eliminated from the playoffs or they have a bye week before the Super Bowl. Now, Diana Rossini with The Athletic also shared that the Jets aren't the only team interested in the Chiefs OC, writing, "Expect the Saints to show interest in former Bears head coach and current Chiefs offensive coordinator Matt Nagy." The Chiefs continue to trend on social media, so we're going to wrap up today's show with a few of those posts. We're starting off with the Up and Adams show. Kay Adams having Chiefs cornerback Joshua Williams on to talk about what it is like playing for defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo.
Is Spags pulling new stuff out of his bag still? Like, he's done this so long, so well, such a high level, so many rings, so much Does he have new stuff in his bag he's still pulling out and impressing you guys?
I think every morning Spags has new stuff. I mean, like, there's not, his mind is like he would be a great general. Like, no funny stuff. He is really just he's a wonder. He can come up with all these different type of pressures, all these different type of zone drops. And all of that is just stuff to kind of confuse the quarterback. A lot of times guys get in the defense and they kind of do the same thing year in, year out. And that's good because, you still get to, perfect what you're doing. But in this system, I think one of the benefits of us is, you have different guys doing different things all the time. We have corners who blitz. We have corners who drop to a half. We got corners playing man-to-man. We have corners playing off-man, off-zone. So there's so many different type of just defenses we run, and I feel like that's one of the benefits that Coach Spags brings.
He's the kind of guy who understands everything about Interstellar.
Absolutely. I think you and Coach Spags would have a good time watching that because he could break it down for you. He's a smart man.
Let's go. He's throwing Interstellar at these offenses.
Yeah,
who knows what he's going to come up with over this time you guys have to rest.
Up next, we're going to check in with Kansas City Chiefs beat reporter Matt McMullen, who tweets out that the Chiefs' 7-2 record versus eventual playoff teams this season is tied for the most such wins in league history. The 2024 Ravens, 1998 Jets, and the 1997 Packers also reached 7 wins versus eventual playoff teams. McMullen also shared a fun stat. Rookies in the NFL history with at least 6 receiving touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns. That would be Xavier Worthy. This year, he's also in company with some good other guys, Tyreek Hill from 2016, Gale Sayers from 1965, and Doak Walker from 1950. All right, Mahomes is also in a hurry to get back from Denver. Baby number 3 is coming soon. Patrick shared this with CBS Sports reporter Tracy Wolfson. She said his wife Brittany is due to give birth to their 3rd child on Sunday. If she doesn't give birth by then, she will be induced Monday. Of course, wishing them the best. In other news, SpotRack shares that DeAndre Hopkins saw less than 50% of his regular season snaps in 2024, meaning the Chiefs are going to send the Titans a 2025 5th-round pick, of course, instead of that potential 4th-round pick. All right, last one for the day. Keeping it light here. Head coach Andy Reid was named the NFL's happiest and most intelligent coach. Sportsbook Reviews surveyed more than 2,500 respondents on a variety of criteria to determine which head coaches are at the top of their class. Nearly half of the respondents believe that Reid is the most jolly bench boss. Jolly bench boss, you heard me right, in football. And nearly 1 in 5 survey participants say that Reid is the most chill coach in the NFL. All right, folks, that does it for another episode of Chiefs News Daily. As always, you know it. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, like and subscribe right here on the KCSN YouTube channel. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. See you back here on Wednesday.